Well, hey, parents, it is incredible to think that we are already back talking about camp. We are so excited to have your student joining us this week, June 19th through 23rd at Fuge Summer Camps, again in Ridgecrest, North Carolina. Thank you for entrusting them to us. We know that it is going to be an amazing week, and we cannot wait to see all that God's going to do and be able to share with you when we get back everything that has happened. Right now, in lieu of a parent meeting, we're going to go through some of the important things that can be found in the parent pack. If this is your first time attending camp, this is definitely something that you want to watch the entirety of. Even if you've been to camp a bunch of times, there is still some new stuff in here that Fuge specifically has added that we want to make you aware of. And we'll try to go through it as quickly as we can. I know you can read, and so I fully trust that you will be going through this on your own, looking at things like the packing list and the rules and the schedule, the itinerary, all that sort of stuff. But just to go over some of the details and everything, we're going to look through this together. So, first and foremost, we see that the theme for this year is Into the Light, owning your faith. And I'm really excited about this. Every single year, Fuge has a different theme. Last year it was Revival Generation, and this year it is talking about owning your faith, that our faith is rooted in Jesus Christ, who is the light. And so that means that we need to not only step into the light, but then we need to be reflecting that light to others and really making that relationship, that faith, our own. And that's something that's incredibly important for students to be talking about. And at the end of the packet, you'll notice that there is a brief rundown of what the sessions are going to look like, as well as the week of camp. We are going to be sending you parent devotions. Please take some time over the 5 days that we're at camp and engage in those parent devotions. It's not only just for you to have an extra Bible study to do or something like that, but it's going to follow along some of the exact same things that your student is talking about. So when they come home, you will be able to engage with them and continue that discipleship with them, you being the primary faith influence in their life. And so we want you to be set up for success with that. This year at camp, we are taking 140 individuals. Yes, please pray for us. We are taking roughly 114 students with 26 leaders. So be praying for those leaders. And if you haven't already, please sign up to adopt a leader and just show them some love and care as they're away at camp that week. If you need more information about that, I'll go over it in just a moment. But I'm so excited for what Fuge Camp is going to hold. And if at any point you have any questions about the Adopt a Leader that I just mentioned, about anything that's mentioned here in this video, or something that maybe isn't mentioned that you have a question about, please feel free to reach out to myself, Caleb Peters, our Student Ministry Coordinator, or Amanda Bailey, our Family Ministry Administrative Assistant. You can find any of us on the Five Stones website. You can come up to us on a Sunday or on a Wednesday, or I'm going to put our emails right below right here. Mine is jsprinkle@fivestoneschurch.com. Caleb is cpeters@fivestoneschurch.com. And Amanda is abailey@fivestoneschurch.com. So please feel free to reach out to us if you have any questions at all, because your child is going to be doing, your student is going to be doing a lot this week. So we're looking at the itinerary here really quickly. Again, not going to go through every single aspect of this, but registration is going to begin on June 19th here at Five Stones Church campus at 11:30 a.m. 11:30 a.m. I realize that I have a typo in some of these that says p.m. No, we are not arriving right before midnight. I apologize about that. 11:30 a.m. here at Five Stones. We're going to go over at the end of this video what registration looks like and walk you through the different touch points so that you can make sure that you have everything available. But be there at 11:30. Make sure that your student has already eaten lunch, because we will not be stopping. And please make sure that you have taken any and all devices that they have, and we'll talk about that more in a moment. Because once we get to Ridgecrest, we're going to hit the ground rolling with registration and all that other sort of fun stuff. We'll get into our rooms and everything. And then we are going to be having dinner. We have a dinner at this gigantic dining hall that has a ton of options. But if your student has any specific dietary restrictions that you have not made us aware of yet, please let us know. The cafeteria is great at accommodating things like that. We will be having our opening celebration, opening worship gathering And then students will be breaking up into their Bible study groups. Now, these Bible study groups are going to be taking place with students from all over the campus. There are 1,300 students that attend Ridgecrest, and there are literally hundreds of staff that Fuge provides in addition to the staff that we already have. When students go to their Bible study groups, it is led by a Fuge staffer, and we request that they get put in that Bible study group with at least a couple of people that they know from Five Stones. But these Bible study groups are anywhere from 10 to 20 individuals that are from all over. Students have met other students from Texas or Florida or up in New York or wherever. It is all over the place, and it is really, really cool thing for students to be able to engage with individuals that are in their same stage of life, but are on completely different areas of truly our country. And so it's a lot of fun. That is the group that they do, again, Bible study with. That's what they do their morning activities with, like just their recreation and everything, as well as that's what they'll be doing. That's who they'll be with whenever they do Mega Relay, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. We will be having worship all together every single day. We will be all sitting together. It's not like students can just sit wherever they would like to. We do a head count. Every single leader does a head count of their students to make sure that your student is exactly where they need to be. And then we'll have some church group time each day. After the night service, we are able to have some time just as Five Stones, just as our church, to be able to debrief a little bit. This is where we're going to have some small group times, just our group, and really be able to process the day and celebrate and pray together and all those sorts of things. And so then we'll be in our rooms sleeping. Yeah, right. We move through and we see the first couple of full days. The days typically look pretty similar to one another. There are these, the morning celebrations. Well, you'll notice, first of all, breakfast is very, very early in the morning. If your student is used to waking up later in the day, just prepare them because they're going to have to be waking up early. They will have morning celebration, recreation, all that sort of stuff. We will have lunch together, and then they will be sent to their tracks. And so that's where, when you filled out your participant form for your student, you should have chosen 5 track selections for track A and track B. This is where your student is going to be literally spread out all over the campus doing different activities each and every day. And so they've changed up how tracks have gone over the past couple of years, so I'm interested to see specifically how it's going to be looking this year. But your student will have different opportunities to do a lot of different things. So even if they don't get their favorite specific track, please go ahead and encourage them and tell them that it is going to be okay, that they're going to have opportunities to do other things, that they're going to be able to hang out with other people and all those sorts of things. And they're not just completely locked in for the entirety of the week. Last year, they had different track rotations pretty much every day. And so, again, it'll be interesting to see if that's the exact same way that they do it this year. Regardless, your student is going to be able to have a lot of fun at tracks, hanging out with other campers and different things like that. Then we will have dinner. We'll have some downtime, and then we'll have dinner followed by our worship time as well as our church group time and then hang time. And that's how most of the days typically look. There is a little bit of a wrinkle in that one day there is an event called Mega Relay. This takes place, I believe, during recreation time in the morning, although it has fluctuated at different points. We will be sure to let your student know when they get there. But this is, if you've ever seen our videos from camp or followed us on Instagram, go ahead and do that. Follow us at FS Students. We will be posting our Instagram all week long updates, and you'll get to see some crazy videos of your student probably. But Mega Relay is where they get all 1,300 individuals at camp all on the one rec field, and they do a gigantic relay race. These are things from the like firefighter carry to dragging people on tarps to just running and spinning around in circles and opening a Mountain Dew and shaking it all over yourself and everything. It is just absolute pandemonium and chaos. And this year, the theme for Mega Relay, I promise y'all, I had no input into this whatsoever, but the theme is Christmas. So get your student to bring whatever Christmas stuff they would like. Maybe don't bring a sweater. That would be really, really hot. Maybe a Christmas t-shirt, some Christmas socks, Christmas hat, whatever it might be, and get them hanging out for Mega Relay. There is also nightlife, where one evening, rather than Normally we would just go from church group time to hangout time, but we will have church group time and then we will go directly into nightlife. Nightlife this year is a campus-wide relay race. So it's also going to be a lot of relays. It's going to be a lot of stuff happening. The students are going to be running all over the place. It is going to be, again, absolute pandemonium, and it all takes place at night. There's some more information about that further in the parent pack or on the Fuge's website if you'd like to see more. One other thing that we do each year is a game called Fortress. This is our students and Five Stones. We have continually evolved as this game has just gotten progressively crazier and more insane. And this is where you will be receiving shortly an email that specifies your student's color. We're going to be breaking them up by grades this year. So you'll be receiving an email with the color. If your student has a shirt or shorts or bandanas or face paint or whatever, then they can gather that stuff for their specific color, for their specific grade, and when we do our gigantic clash of Fortress. And so we will be leaving on the closing day. Normally we leave about 10:45 to 11 o'clock, which means that we should be back at Five Stones anywhere from 12:30 to 1. We will be sending updates. We literally have that closing celebration and we send our students directly to the buses. They are already loaded. Our leaders are loading the buses during the closing celebration and everything. And then we hit the road just as soon as possible and we will be back at Five Stones ASAP so that you can get your student back, you can get started on laundry, and they can sleep a little bit. So we should be back about 12:30 p.m. on June 23rd. Again, we'll be sending text updates as well as email updates just if there's anything that causes that to change. But that is the itinerary. If we can continue through quickly, we're going to go briefly through the rest of this packet. Next up, we have the dress code. And so now this is the dress code that Fuge requires, that Fuge mandates. I will go ahead and say that they tell all adult leaders that the Fuge campers, or the Fuge staff, as well as other leaders from other groups are not going to address your student about dress code issues. If there is a dress code issue, they will come to me or one of our other leaders and they will specifically say, hey, so-and-so, we need to ask them to change or do something or whatever. They will come to us and then we will be able to address it with your student. But if you want to be a bit proactive with that, you can look through all of this. Some of the big things are certainly, please have your student bring closed-toed shoes. Please don't have anything excessively low cut or shirts cut down the sides that are just wide open. Nothing like that. Open backs or anything. All that sort of stuff. We don't really need to worry about bathing suits because at Ridgecrest there is no water to do anything like that. And feel free, there's an element of this that is always a little funny to me where it tells students to kind of dress up for worship. Your student's more than willing to do that, and we see some students do that. Don't specifically feel as though that's necessary. We have students that do show up in dresses or in jeans or a nicer shirt or something, but then we have students that show up in gym shorts and a t-shirt, just like they've been wearing pretty much all day. And so if you would just look through that, and whichever gender your student is, however it specifically relates to them, please just go over that with them and just make sure as they're packing that we're all set there. We'll go over what not to pack in just a little bit because we're going to get to what to pack first. You'll see here, again, what to pack, some big things, summer clothing. It does get hot up there. We are up in the mountains, so it's not just scorching hot, but it does typically get into the 80s and 90s majority of the days. So please wear clothing that is breathable and light and all that sort of stuff. Please wear closed-toed, closed-heeled shoes. That's what's required for outdoor activities. Some other important things, please bring a bath towel, bring pillows, blankets. If you want to bring a sleeping bag, that's certainly fine, or you can bring extra large twin sheets because they're pretty much just on a mattress. Once we get into our rooms that we're staying in, there's just a mattress laying there. And I'll go ahead and say this here. You'll notice at the bottom that Fuge does allow us to rent pillows or towels or sheets or whatever it might be, but it costs $5 per person. And so That is a change that Ridgecrest made last year, so we wound up with a big old bill because we had a bunch of students that didn't bring anything, that they left their towels in their car or left the pillow on the sidewalk or something. And so if your student winds up needing that stuff, please just know that we'll be sending you something just letting you know, hey, so-and-so forgot their towels and their pillows. We'll need you to send us $5, stuff like that, because it really added up last year. And so some other things is please bring a water bottle that you can refill and carry with you. It is so important that your student stays hydrated, and we will have water bottles in every room, but just please help us out with that. Please bring all toiletries, shampoo, body wash, deodorant, whatever is needed. For the boys, deodorant stick. Do not bring deodorant spray. If you bring deodorant spray, I will throw it away. Like, that is not helpful. It does not count. So please, please, please bring a deodorant stick. We don't want to be smelling you. Bring a toothbrush, toothpaste, all that sort of stuff. We will make sure that your students are showering and brushing their teeth and everything like that. But just go ahead and make sure that it is all set to go. Please bring a Bible, pencil, pen, notepad, all that sort of stuff, sunscreen. They will be spending a lot of time outside. They're welcome to bring an alarm clock or a watch, an analog watch with them, not a smart watch. We'll get to that in a moment. But if they would like to have something like that, they're more than welcome to bring it, as well as money for snacks, camp store, and they always do a missions offering at camp. I get asked every year, how much money should I send my kid to camp with? However much you're okay not having when they come back. There is a snack shack on camp called the Nibble Nook that has things like chicken tenders and ice cream and things like that a lot of students really love. There's also a coffee shop on campus, and there is a camp store. You can go to Fuge, their website, and you can actually look at their camp store now. You can see a little bit of what they have. The stuff is typically what you would find at a regular, any old place that is selling clothes nowadays. It's going to run you $20 to $40 for a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or something like that. They have water bottles and stickers and sunglasses and hats and all that sort of stuff. And so feel free to send your student with as much as you would like. However, if they lose it or if they spend it all, that is entirely on them. These locations do take card, but again, that is something that your student will be required to keep track of. If they lose it, we will absolutely help them look for it. We will turn their room inside out, upside down. There is a lost and found on campus and all that sort of stuff. But if they have a propensity to lose things, just bear that in mind. Other things to pack is there will be an FS Students Merch Night, so get your student shirt or sweatshirt out or whatever. Mega Relay's theme is Christmas, and the nightlife theme is neon colors. So just pack something neon so that when we go and do our nightlife, which we'll find out what night that is when we arrive, your student is all set and everything. A couple other things that you might want to bring, especially as it gets closer, be checking the weather. There is some rain that takes place there sometimes, so bring a rain jacket. As well as in the mornings, it gets pretty cold, so a lot of students bring a sweatshirt or a hoodie that they just take off in the middle of the day or something like that. So feel free to bring anything like that, and you can look through the rest of the What to Pack page, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. A note about medication is if your student packs their own medication, or if you trust them to handle medications such as ibuprofen or something small like that, please tell them that they cannot share that medication with anyone else under any circumstances. We've had students that bring melatonin because that's something that is helpful to them, or they're prone to get headaches, so they bring some ibuprofen or Tylenol. That does not mean that they are all of a sudden their room's drugstore. So if they have something that you feel comfortable with them keeping, please, please, please do not share that with anyone. If your student is administering their own medication, please go to the medication page on our registration or on the emails that you've been receiving. Let us know so that they can be getting their own stuff, as well as especially if we need to be administering their medication, keeping track of it and giving it to them and everything. Please fill out that medication form so that at check-in we have just a smooth as smooth of a process as possible. Next, this will be the last big chunk for this kind of video and everything. This is basically the camp rules. So what not to pack, what not to bring, and the camp rules to follow. Certainly all the things that you would expect. Do not pack alcohol, tobacco, any type of vaping items. Do not pack anything like fireworks, water guns, or any type of weapon. That includes pocket knives. Please just leave those at home. Do not bring that here. Anything that maybe they would wear that has any of that, please leave that at home as well. Another big rule for us is absolutely under no circumstance should there be pranks at camp. No pranks whatsoever. So anything that may be used as a prank needs to just go ahead and stay home. If a student or group of students prank another student, they will be receiving a phone call home and will be sent home. This is something that we hold very tightly to. There's only a couple of rules that I'm just like, this is the top thing for me, and I do not want a student, because every single time someone that is doing the prank is having a ton of fun, but the person that is receiving the prank is never having fun. And that is not the experience that we want a single student to have at camp. So they will be dealt with harshly, as well as cell phones and devices. Absolutely no cell phones, no devices at this camp. Again, your student is more than welcome to bring a watch if they would like to, but it cannot be a smartwatch. No AirPods, gaming devices, iPads, anything like that. You say, well, they just want it on the bus because they get bored. No, leave that at home. We will be asking each student at check-in, have you given your parent or your guardian your cell phone? Have you given them your devices? And it is a matter of integrity that if they say yes, they are speaking honestly. We don't want to find any cell phones there. If we do find them, we will take them and we will contact you, their parents, to let you know they brought their device to camp. Because again, this is something where we would like for them to be able to disconnect. We would like them to be able to be present and in the moment with other students, with other individuals, focusing on their relationship with the Lord and the fun that is being had in the spaces that they are in. So leave all of that home. You as parents will receive contact info for several leaders the week that we leave for camp, should there be any emergency or any need to contact a student. So please, if you're like, well, I'm going to give my student my phone because I need to be able to contact them at such and such a point, or I need to be able to check in with them. Well, number one, no news is good news. If you don't hear from us, your student is having the time of their life. They are losing their mind, getting way too little sleep, and getting completely jacked up on Jesus. It's going to be so great. Please do not worry. Number two, if there is any reason that you need to get in contact with someone, we will give you the email addresses and cell phone numbers of several leaders that you will be, including my own, that you will be able to contact the week of camp should there be any need to do so. Other situations that are incredibly important are certainly no actions deemed sexual in nature in any way, shape, or form, sexual harassment, or consensual. We acknowledge that there might be some relationships that bud at camp. There may be some relationships going into camp, all those sorts of things. That's great. That's fantastic. If we see you hug, we're like, okay, sweet. That's cute. We see you hold hands for a minute, like, all right. If we see you snuggling or wrapping your arms around each other or certainly kissing or anything like that, we're going to have a conversation. Again, that's something that we just don't want to be a distraction from this year at camp. As well as any type of bullying. Any type of bullying will be addressed harshly. We will handle it there, and then we will notify you as parents. But we're believing and praying that there will be none of that. Another very important rule is that students must always be in groups, so there should be no wandering off on their own. So please encourage your student. We're going to go over this on the day of camp, but under no circumstances should a student wander off on their own. Doing so could result in discipline such as removing from activities, a phone call to your parent or guardian, or being sent home. Your students' safety is our responsibility at camp, and that's something that we take very, very seriously. Your students will know where to go, and we will be able to help them through all of it. But we are asking that they stay in groups of at least 3 for the entirety of their time at camp. When they're going to tracks, when they're heading off to hang out with people, when they're going to the nibble nook, or they're running to the bathroom. Like, we need them to stay in groups so that people know where one another are. It's incredibly important. Again, just some other elements here that are just some different rules. No practical jokes. We've already noted that. Please encourage your student to drink plenty of water and tell them to eat. Go ahead and front load that message. Please tell them to eat. Tell them to eat food, hearty food, not just eat snacks or anything, which your student is more than welcome to pack snacks if they would like to. They're welcome to pack granola bars. They can pack anything that they may need at any point in time. But any types of chips or anything like that, a special drink that they may enjoy, something like that. But we just ask that they please do not pack any sort of energy drinks or anything like that. Just for the sanity of myself and the other leaders, like, those energy drinks typically don't get cracked open at 7 a.m. when we're headed to breakfast. They typically get cracked open at 11 p.m. when it is time to go to bed. So please just don't even bring those. Students will be expected to wear their name tags at all times. Absolutely. They must respect other leaders and other students. Our group, as well as the other students and leaders that are there, we will be assigned some certain Fuge leaders that they will be able to correspond with the entire time that we're there. Absolutely no guys and girls rooms and no girls and guys rooms. Absolutely not. They will stay away from that. No PDA, things of that nature. Please just make sure all that sort of stuff is just reinforced to your student. If any damages are done to a room, it will be the student's expectation that they cover it. We will be notified if there's any extensive damage. This is not a problem that we have ever had before, so I'm not believing it'll be a problem now, but just please make sure that your student knows that they need to treat this place with respect. Trying to see here as we go through. One last thing before we close and move to check-in and registration is this is new for this year, a camper dismissal policy. This is Fuge's camper dismissal policy, that they reserve the right to dismiss a camper from camp whose conduct is severely disruptive or creates physical harm to the self or others. And so you can look through this. Any of these situations, Fuge has the right to tell us as Five Stones, like, your student needs to go home. And so please, as we've been going over these rules, please just make sure your student is aware, and we're going to go over this the day of camp, the day of drop-off, that these rules are to be taken very seriously. We're going to have a ton of fun. We're going to enjoy one another's company. We're going to hang out a whole lot, and we're going to just worship and celebrate Jesus and what he's doing in our lives and the lives of others. But we have these rules in place so that we can have guardrails around what's happening there at camp. And so just, again, not wanting to just end on a heavy note, but that is the expectations that Fuge has made this year. As we look at the last couple of pages, you can see the theme and Bible study overview. Feel free to check that out over the first couple of days of camp, and we're going to be sending out parent devotions the week of camp, and we're also going to have hard copies at check-in if you are interested in that. And then lastly, if you look at the parent pack, you'll see at the end that there is a child protection policy that is included that is several pages long, that just wants you to be aware as a parent that this is the child protection policy that is expected of each and every leader that attends camp. So every single leader that goes to camp with us or with another church has gone through this training or a similar training just to make sure that camp is, again, as safe of a place and enjoyable as a place as possible. And I cannot emphasize enough how excited we are for camp. Now let's just check out check-in really quick and registration, and then we'll have you all ready for camp. Well, Thank you for checking this out. Really quick, we just wanted to go over check-in and registration for you. When you first show up for registration for camp, again, registration starts at 11:30, so please be sure to be there by about that time. This is where you will start. Right here at these tables, we will have various aspects of registration. We will have check-in where you'll be going up and your student will get checked in, making sure they have all their forms and everything filled out, all the waivers and everything like that. And then there will be two other tables. One will be for our t-shirts that we have been selling. If you purchased a t-shirt, you can head over there and pick it up if you haven't gotten it already, as well as medication. That's if your student is dropping off medication because you would like us to administer it to them over the week at camp, you'll stop by right there. If you don't have to worry about medication or t-shirt, then you just do check-in. Once you get through everything that you need to get through, you'll come right over here. You'll go right across this, and right over there where those trucks are right there will be the first of our buses that we are going to be taking to camp. We're taking 3 buses. When your student is checked in, you will be told which bus you are going on. Your student will take their luggage over there and leave it outside of whichever bus they have been assigned. They will leave whatever luggage they want underneath the bus right over there next to the bus. Again, there will be signs next to it, bus 1, bus 2, bus 3, all that sort of stuff. They can leave their stuff right over there. And then once they do that, they can cut right through this courtyard right here and go in through those doors to the main auditorium. Those doors will be propped open. That's where they will stay until we leave. Once they head into the auditorium, we ask that they do not leave. Parents, we're asking that you stay and hang out in the auditorium as well. We'll be going over camp stuff. We'll be going over rules, registration. It'll be the last chance to get rid of all the devices and everything, even though your student will have already been asked if they have given up their device at check-in. Some forget. But we will be right over there in the auditorium for our meeting, and then we will close with a word of prayer before we leave for camp. We'd love for you to stay. If you can't, we understand, but we would love for you to stay. We ask that when students get in there, they not leave, aka they don't run out back here, just so we can keep a nice flow of who is getting checked in and where they're going. And then we ask that they not head into the atrium or anything like that while we are finishing up registration. Stepping Stones will be having a summer camp going on, and we don't want students running around mixing with all of that. However, there will be an opportunity to use the bathroom before we leave. And so that is camp registration in a nutshell. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are so excited for this year at camp.